Hello and welcome to my chunk Mage journey. This episode is gonna be all about my account and my rule set. So this is gonna be episode 0. Teleport into a chunk unlocks it permanently. This means I can use a teleport to Varrock and that unlocks the Varrock chunk. I will only unlock the chunks I teleport into, and this is 66 by 66 tiles. Any teleports can be used to unlock chunks except random teleports. This means I can use all the teleports in the game, but I cannot use teleports that teleport me to random locations like Bounty Hunter teleport or random events. In my chunk there will be dungeons, and I will have full access to the dungeon in my chunk, so as long as the entrance of the dungeon is in my chunk, then I have full access to the whole dungeon. If I can teleport into a dungeon, I will have full access to the dungeon, but only the dungeon. I cannot go outside, because the chunk outside is not unlocked. When it comes to house, teleport unlocks the chunk permanently where the house is located. This means when I move my house to a new location, I will unlock another chunk. And since I can move my house to 7 different locations, I will unlock 7 chunks with construction. And minigames, I can do all minigames if I can start the minigame in my chunk. Like pest control, you can start it within the chunk, but the minigame itself doesn't take place in that chunk. If I can start a minigame in my chunk, I'm allowed to do the minigame. Now for the locked chunks, the ones I can't walk into. Walking into a locked chunk results in a wipe of all items. This means all items I have in my inventory or equipped will be dropped. Items in my bank, my house and my stash will be safe, but I'm not allowed to walk into a locked chunk or walk across locked chunks. So if I walk into a chunk, I have to walk back right away and I have to drop all my items while I'm in a locked chunk, because I'm going to move into a locked chunk when I do quests. I'm not allowed to pick up any items or gather any XP when I'm in those locked chunks, unless the quest itself requires me to pick up an item or gather some kind of XP. Now for my quests. I'm only allowed to complete quests on my quest list, and this is because I want to keep my quest list as short up as possible, because I don't see any reason to complete a quest that doesn't really give me anything. So my quest list are 10 quests. When I'm doing those quests, upon completion I have to drop all my items that I gather during the quest. But if I can reobtain the quest items in my chunks, that's fine. A good example of this is Fremnik Trials, because I can get the helms from Barbarian Assault. So that's a way to gather items that I have unlocked from a quest. For this mode, I have allowed myself to get one other spellbook, and the obvious choice was to do the Lunar spellbook. Because Lunar spellbook, it has good teleports and good spells that I can use. So the reason I've chosen this quest are rune mysteries are required for a lunar diplomacy. The druidic ritual are for herblore. The feud are on the list to unlock the Ali rune shop. I have allowed myself to this quest because I can do it in my chunks. That's the only reason I allowed myself to have this quest on the list. Jungle Potion are required for Shield Village, and Shield Village are required for Lunar Diplomacy. Lost City is required for Lunar Diplomacy, and Fremnik trials are also required for lunar diplomacy. Goblin diplomacy are required for the Lost Tribe, and the Lost Tribe will unlock the Lumbridge Swamp Cave, and that cave gives me 4 Slayer monsters, so that's a huge unlock for me. I might have access to the cave before completing the quests, and if that's the case, I'm going to remove the quest from the list. Now, you can see the requirements. I have added a requirement for each and every quest. The reason I have a chunk or a level for each quest is because I either have to walk in this chunk during the quest, or I need a level for something in the quest or after the quest. Now for the quest, I might have to add more quests in the future, but we will see. Now for the one-time exceptions, I have 4 of them right now. We might add some more in the future, but we have to see when the time comes. The first one is unlocking the house in Hosidius. To unlock this, we have to visit Hosidius estate agent 1 time. And for the number 2 is the Koren Castle teleport. To unlock this, we have to go to the library and find a book, the transportation indications. The number 3 exception is the stone mason, and as a bonus we're getting blast furnace. The exception is visit Kelagrim 1 time, and that will unlock the blast furnace teleport. The last and final exception is the magic ape. You might wonder, why do we want the magic ape? And it's simply because we are a chunky mage, and magic is what's unlocking content for me. So not having a magic ape kinda doesn't make sense to me. So I really want to have a magic ape, so when I'm 99 magic, I'm allowed to go to the magic guild and get myself a magic ape. So that's all the rules for my account and exceptions. That makes the end of the first episode 0. Now the journey begins in episode 1. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.